Greetings, fellow enthusiasts. Welcome back to. Today, we're embarking on a journey through time to unravel the truths about an event that shook the world, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. This catastrophic occurrence has left an indelible mark on history and continues to be a point of fascination and study. So, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated. Join me as we explore some fascinating and lesser-known facts about this catastrophic event. On April 26, 1986, a routine safety test at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Pripyat, Ukraine, went horribly wrong. This small city, nestled in the heart of Ukraine, was about to become the epicenter of a nuclear catastrophe. A series of ill-fated decisions led to a colossal explosion in reactor number 4. The blast was so powerful that it literally blew the 2,000-ton lid off the reactor, exposing its radioactive core. But the explosion was just the ignition of a far more terrifying chain of events. A fire started, and as it raged, it spewed a lethal cocktail of radioactive particles into the atmosphere. This toxic cloud was not confined to Chernobyl. It began to drift, carried by the wind, reaching as far as Western Europe and even North America. In these initial stages, the true scale of the disaster was not yet known. The explosion released a significant amount of radioactive material into the atmosphere, marking the beginning of a nuclear nightmare that the world would never forget. The disaster was primarily caused by a combination of human error and a flawed reactor design. Picture this: it's the middle of the night, and a group of engineers at Chernobyl are conducting a routine safety test. What they don't realize is that their actions are about to trigger one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. The test was meant to simulate a power outage and determine how long the turbines would keep spinning and providing power to the main circulating pumps. But in the process, they bypassed several safety protocols. This involved disconnecting the reactor's emergency safety systems and its power regulating system. These decisions, combined with a reactor design that was inherently unstable at low power, led to a sudden and uncontrollable surge in reactor power. The reactor's output rocketed to more than 100 times its normal operational output. The result? A catastrophic steam explosion. Engineers conducting the safety test bypassed several safety protocols, leading to a sudden and uncontrollable surge in reactor power. Following the explosion, a deadly substance known as the elephant's foot was discovered in the reactor building. This was no ordinary artifact of the disaster, but a highly lethal mass of corium, graphite, and other materials that had melted together during the explosion. Named for its wrinkled gray appearance resembling an elephant's foot, this toxic mass is a silent killer, emitting enough radiation to be lethal in just a few minutes of exposure. The elephant's foot is a chilling testament to the power and danger of nuclear energy when things go wrong. It's a deadly sculpture, crafted by the intense heat of the explosion and the subsequent fires. This monstrous mass is so radioactive even today, over 3 decades after the disaster, it can't be approached without heavy protective gear. Spending just a few minutes near it could be fatal, a grim reminder of the Chernobyl catastrophe and the long-lasting hazards it left behind. In the aftermath, the nearby city of Pripyat was evacuated, displacing over 49,000 residents. This drastic measure was taken within 36 hours of the explosion, as the seriousness of the situation became apparent. The residents were given a scant few hours to gather their personal belongings and board the buses that would take them away from their homes, their city, their lives as they knew them. They were told it would be for just a few days, but none of them would ever return to live there again. The city of Pripyat, once bustling with life, was left deserted. Schools, hospitals, apartments, all abandoned in a hurry. The echoes of laughter, chatter, and life in general were replaced with an eerie silence that has prevailed for decades. The remnants of human habitation stand as monuments to a disaster that changed the course of history. To this day, Pripyat remains a ghost town, frozen in time as a haunting reminder of the disaster. The long-term effects of the Chernobyl disaster are still felt today. The aftermath of this catastrophic event has left a scar on our planet that continues to affect the environment and the lives of the people in the region. The area around Chernobyl, now known as the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, covers an expansive 1,600 square miles. It's a stark reminder of the disaster, a region largely uninhabitable due to persistently high levels of radiation. But nature, in its resilience, has found a way to endure. Despite the harsh conditions, wildlife has returned to the exclusion zone. This resurgence of life is both fascinating and alarming. The animals and plants inhabiting the zone have had to adapt to a radioactive environment. Studies have shown evidence of genetic mutations in these species, a testament to the lasting impact of the disaster. Wildlife has returned, but with genetic mutations. This is the enduring legacy of Chernobyl, a poignant reminder of humanity's ability to both destroy and endure. To contain the radiation, a massive structure called the Chernobyl shelter or sarcophagus was built over the damaged reactor. It's hard to imagine, but picture a colossal concrete shell designed to imprison the toxic remnants of a nuclear disaster. This engineering marvel was assembled in haste under the most challenging conditions imaginable, all with one singular goal: to halt the further release of radioactive material. The construction of the sarcophagus was no small task. It required a multinational effort, with experts from all corners of the globe lending their knowledge and skills to this unprecedented endeavor. This international collaboration resulted in a structure that, despite its rushed assembly, has stood the test of time, remaining intact for more than 3 decades. However, the Chernobyl shelter wasn't the end of the story. The aftermath of the disaster required a colossal cleanup effort. Enter the liquidators. These were the unsung heroes of Chernobyl, a workforce of thousands, tasked with the seemingly impossible mission of decontaminating the disaster site. These brave individuals, often ordinary citizens, found themselves in the front line of a nuclear battlefield. They faced extreme radiation exposure, working in hazardous conditions with limited protective gear. Yet, they persevered, their efforts crucial in mitigating the disaster's impact. In the end, the story of the sarcophagus and the liquidators is a tale of human resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. These brave individuals faced extreme radiation exposure, often working in hazardous conditions with limited protective gear. And there you have it, folks, Chernobyl, a tragic chapter in human history that serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of nuclear disasters. From the explosion, human error, the haunting elephant's foot, the evacuation of Pripyat, long-term effects, the heroic liquidators to the massive sarcophagus, this disaster has left an indelible mark on our world. If you found this enlightening, do give it a thumbs up, share it around, and drop a comment with your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.